Sunday pump day coming at ya. What we got here is 4 rounds, not for time, but for quality and pump. What do you got here to start off? 45 seconds of all of these wonderful movements. You have 45 seconds of a right arm dumbbell row, then 45 seconds of a left arm dumbbell row, then 45 seconds of a right arm dumbbell floor press, 45 seconds of a left arm dumbbell floor press, and then finishing with some ab bicycles for 45 seconds. You're gonna get about 5 to 10 seconds rest in between each, so no need to rush right into the next one. Give yourself a little transition, okay, to get to the next movement, okay, so you can either move along with your coach, or if you have your own time and clock, okay, you can reset it. So again, I would set a 45-second timer, okay, maybe give yourself a 5 to 10 second rest, reset the timer, and then give yourself another 45 seconds to get the next movement in. What we're doing here for the dumbbell row, okay, I got my nice heavy dumbbell over here, okay, you're coming over to the box. Okay, what you're doing, if you don't have a box, you can use a chair, couch, elevated surface. Again, as always, if it's in your right hand for the dumbbell, your right foot should be staggered back. You should be in a good quarter squat. Put the weight in your legs and your core as you lightly bring that chest forward and lightly place the hand on the surface. So don't be leaning 100% into the box or surface. So all my weight should be my legs and my core. My shoulders should be pinned back, not drooping to the ground. So pinch those shoulder blades together. I'm gonna keep a nice tall chest, and I'm gonna row this dumbbell up towards my body with a tight elbow, and I'm controlling it back down. So for 45 seconds, I am rowing here with my right arm, getting as many reps as I can get in controlled, not crazy, okay? And then I will give myself 5 seconds, I will switch, and then I'm gonna go 45 seconds on the other arm. All right, so that dumbbell row is meant to be controlled and smooth the whole time. The floor press, coming down to the ground. Okay, so we've done these before. Again, you have 2 options for this. You can either plant those feet on the ground, okay, making sure your core is tight, lower back is flat, and I'm gonna start with this in my left hand with my elbow tight to my side. I'm gonna rest my head on the ground, keeping my core tight. I am pressing that dumbbell to the sky and then lightly bring it back down so I don't slam my elbow into the floor. So I'm gonna get 45 seconds here, pressing this dumbbell up, getting as many reps as I can, and then I'm gonna switch and then get 45 seconds on the other side. If you wanna make this challenging, you can go into a dead bug position, get those knees over your hips, keep your core tight so that lower back stays flat, and you're doing the same thing, keeping that pressing going for 45 seconds, getting that pump. You don't want to arch that lower back or kind of sway side to side as you're punching. You want to make sure you're super tight and solid, squeezing your core the whole time and making sure the only thing moving is this dumbbell in your hand. All right, so that is the floor press. I'm actually going to stay down here because you're just going to drop the dumbbell. You got bicycles, hands behind your head, making sure extending one leg, opposite elbow to knee, and you're making sure there's a full lockout each rep, and they are touching opposite elbow, opposite knee in the center. So again, that's a max 45 seconds there to get as many bicycles as you can. So again, there's also no rest in between the rounds. Try to give yourself about 5 to seconds to catch your breath, and then you'll restart with those rows. So 4 rounds total there. Give yourself 5 to 10 seconds in between movements. Get after that pump and those abs. After, real fun one here. We got AMRAP 10. As many reps as you can get in 10 minutes of a max dumbbell shoulder to overhead. So that means you have 10 minutes to get as many dumbbell shoulder overhead reps as you can get. The only catch is every minute on the minute, starting with 0, 2, you must perform 10 dumbbell squat presses. Yeah, new movement. We'll go over that in a second. Also, each minute, you can only use one arm, which means minute 1, you can only perform shoulder overhead with your right arm, and then minute 2, you can then go with your left arm, minute 3, back to your right arm. So only one arm per minute. Okay, you can't switch halfway through a minute or do 5 on one arm, 5 on the other, and split up however you want. you are designating only one arm per minute. All right, so when you start the workout, it does start with the squat presses. So at 3, 2, 1, go, you are starting with 10 dumbbell squat presses. So with whatever dumbbell you're using in the workout, you must hold in that goblet squat position. Feet are underneath the shoulders. You're gonna get a full squat down, keeping an active position, and you're gonna press that dumbbell out 10 times. So I'm keeping my core super tight, and it's almost like a vertical bench press here where I'm getting that weight out in front, locking out for a quick second, and then coming back in. If your dumbbell's too challenging and you find yourself falling forward or you can't get a full lockout, don't use a dumbbell. Use a different weight that you have in your house, maybe a milk jug, a water jug, something. You know, even if it's just a light. If this movement really sucks for you, just grab something that's really light and it's you're rowing through that motion of pressing in a squat position. All right, so that should take anywhere between 10, 15, no more than 20 seconds to get those presses done, and then you're going right into your shoulder overhead. What the shoulder overhead will look like, we have 3 options. Okay, each one, your feet are gonna be underneath those hips. Your first option is gonna be a strict press. So from the shoulder, keeping your core tight, I'm pressing this up over my head, keeping my wrist in line with my elbow and my shoulder, keep my core tight, and I'm getting a good pump here. So this would be a good option if you have a light dumbbell only. If your dumbbell's a little heavier and you gotta move a little faster, you can go and do a push press. Keeping that elbow nice and active, core tight. I'm gonna sit my weight into my heels to do a quarter squat, and I'm driving that weight off my shoulders with a nice leg drive. So it's a dip, driving into that press. Dip, driving into that press. So again, using a push press if your weight is a little bit heavier. If it's really heavy and you want to go for a push jerk during this, okay, this is going to require feet to go a little bit wider. Elbow's going to stay up. I'm going to get that full dip. I'm going to drive the weight off of my shoulders, and I'm going to sit down underneath the weight as I lock out and stand. Weight will come down, I'll dip, drive, re-dip underneath. So that way I'm not pressing the weight, I am driving with the legs, and I'm sitting underneath to catch the weight. So again, you can choose 1, 2, or all 3 of those presses. If you want to start out doing strict presses and then you do push presses and then push jerks, do that, but pick something that's going to keep you moving the entire time before you have to go back to those squat presses. So again, when the workout starts, 3, 2, 1, go, you have 10 full those squat presses, and then since it's minute 1, you can only choose one arm. So I'm going to choose my right arm. I'm going to get as many presses as I can, shoulder overhead, until the next minute starts, where I'm back to those squat presses, and then I have to go to the next arm. Now I'm going to maybe choose push presses. I'm getting a little tired, okay? But just have to go from that shoulder to overhead each time. Okay, get as many reps as you can, looking for at least 100 total reps throughout the workout, at least, all right? So make sure we're moving the whole time, get a good pump today, Sunday pump day, have fun.